Fellas, I have got you covered today. That is right, Mikey Cologne is going to be looking after yous like out there watching this. I've got 8 great masculine fragrances to go through. These all have 3 things in common. They smell great, they're masculine, and they're of very good quality. If you want to find out about these fragrances, just stay tuned. What is good, YouTube? Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Mikey Cologne, and if you're tuned in, as always, thank you very much for doing so. If you enjoy my content, hit that subscribe button, press the bell because it will notify you when I drop a review. To all my subscribers, thank you very much for the support. Every single one of you mean a lot to me, because it gives me motivation every single day to pump out great reviews. Got that out of the way. That is right, I've got 8 stunning masculine fragrances to go through, and I'm going to start off with a boozy one. This is from the house of Farmacia SS Anazita. Man, I butcher that name. It is Whiskey Nobile. This is for the fellas that like going to strip joints. I mean, cigar lounges. This thing smells incredible. And look at the bottles. Look, they look great on the shelf. And the juice inside, it's stunning. It really is. This is a dark, boozy fragrance. Oh, this is good. And this thing fills the air. When you first spray this on, it is big in projection. Right, you got incense, Arabic coffee, orange flower, whiskey, bitter cocoa powder, styrax, oud, vetiver, leather, saffron, and vanilla. So there's quite a lot of dark notes in there. How does this open up? Spicy, woodsy, boozy, warm, sweet. The coffee here adds this nutty herbal quality to the fragrance. And then as it starts to settle, that smoke calms down and the oud starts taking over. The leather creeps in. You do get a bit of quality from this fragrance, from that cocoa powder. But I didn't know the bit of quality come from the cocoa powder. You get this dark chocolatey facet lingering in the back, but the fragrance has a bitter touch to it up top. But that bitter quality does fade out as the fragrance dries down. And like I say, once it starts drying down, the oud starts coming forward along with the leather. And the leather here is dark. I wouldn't say it's rugged. It's smooth, but it's got a dark side to the leather. I think the oud here, it's giving off a woody aroma, but I think it's gelling in with the leather and the incense to not create, but to keep that smoky quality of the fragrance alive. There's always sweetness to this fragrance. That booze accord does calm down as things go along. Like, it's there in the top, it's there in the mid, and when it starts heading into the base, that whiskey is way in the back. And like I say, the oud is present, the leather is present. Right, this is not a barnyardy oud. Like I say, woody aroma, a little bit smoky, and it definitely gives this fragrance a nice, rich quality. I do get touches of the vanilla. The vanilla comes and goes from mid to dry down, so that pushes some more sweetness in along with the styrax. This is a stunning fragrance. If you enjoy boozy dark fragrances, spicy, a little bit sweet, you're going to want to get your hands on this fragrance. Every single fragrance that I want to talk to you about today, sample. Do not blind buy, because a couple of these are expensive, but to me this is a no-brainer. This is bold, this is present, this is boozy, this is a stunner. Anyway, that is Whiskey Nobile from the house of Pharmacia SS and Rosita. Butchered. This one I want to talk about next, to me, is like a modernised, masculine, aromatic fougere fragrance. And it does remind me of another fragrance. The fragrance that I'm talking about today is Faris from the house of Kajal. Right. Straight off the bat, this reminds me of Dior Sauvage. Not completely, but it gives off Dior Sauvage vibes. But there's a lot more to this fragrance than that. And this is very refined. Like, this is a smooth fragrance. For a 100ml bottle, I think you're looking at about £180 in the UK. You might be able to find it at discounters. But let me tell you something, fellas. This thing is gentlemanly. It has a classy edge to it. I'm going to spray it and I'm going to get into the notes. Pressurised atomizer. This is good. This is good. Right, it says you got fizzy bergamot, lemon, orange, juniper, lavender, apple, coriander, clove, nutmeg, rose, jasmine, patchouli, vetiver, sandalwood, tonka bean and amber. So there's a lot of masculine notes in there. How does it open up? It opens up aromatic. You get a big blast of the lavender. It is smooth here. With this, you've got citrus. The juniper berry puts in a little bit of a piney touch. Now, with this, after a couple of minutes, the apple comes in. A crisp, green, sweet apple. And it does add a little bit of a juicy quality to this fragrance. As it starts to settle, woods come in. This does have some sweetness to it. To me, the florals here smooth out the fragrance. I think they round the edges and they put in a little bit of sweetness, because I don't really get too much. I get little snippets of the rose, and it's not a jammy rose. It's more of a masculine rose. It's more of a stemmy rose. Now, as it dries down a little bit more, I start getting some earthy touches. The sandalwood does give this fragrance a creamy quality. So it's spicy, fresh, aromatic, clean, bright up top. But once this does start drying down, that fresh spice starts turning into warm spice from the nutmeg and the clove. But this fragrance always has some freshness to it. The tonka bean and the amber do help warm that base up. They supply some extra sweetness. But like I say, it starts warming up as it's drying down, but it still always has a fresh side to it, because the lavender's always present. So it's always got an aromatic side to it. This is a great fragrance. There's a lot going on with it. And like I say, it does remind me of Dior Sauvage. But very lightly. Like there's just something in this that's giving off Dior Sauvage vibes. But it's much more than that. It's a lot smoother. It's definitely more refined. And it's clean and bright. This will go great if you're going to formal events. You can make this your signature scent. If you work in an office, if you have to go to loads of board meetings or big meetings, so to speak, and you want to stand out, wear this fragrance. This thing pushes. You're going to get 8 hours with this, no problems at all. But anyway, that is Faris from the house of Kajal. This is a great fragrance, my friends. Trust me. With this one, you have to appreciate old schoolish, classic cologne style fragrances. It is Mr. Colonia from the house of Gardenia Benesseri. This definitely has an old school feel to it. Like, this is masculinity in a bottle. And I do enjoy it. Yeah, it is nice. I'm not a lover of old school fragrances, but there's just something in this that works, or I appreciate, hence why it's on the list. Because if I didn't appreciate this fragrance, I could tell you something now, it definitely wouldn't be on this list. You got Sorrento Lemon, Orange Blossom Ambergris, Musk Myrrh Ambergris again, Thai Lotus, Mexican Tuberose, Tuscan Iris, Indian Jasmine Sambac, Indian sandalwood, Indonesian patchouli, berries of Madagascar, vanilla and musk. So there's quite a lot of floral notes in this fragrance, and I do not get many of them at all. You get this neroli and lemon blast up top, which stays with the fragrance all the way through, which keeps this fragrance fresh, bright and lively. Plus the ambergris here is coming across a little bit sweet, musky, plus it gives this fragrance a little bit of a marine quality, so to speak. So this fragrance is fresh through and through. To me, all the florals help out on the aromatic side of this fragrance, and like I say, I do get touches of tuberose, but as far as the florals go, that is it. So fellas, if you're watching this is not a feminine fragrance. No, 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 no. This is masculine. Trust me. Dries down, you get woodsy touches, you get earthy touches, but that orange blossom and the lemon, it always stays with the fragrance, top, mid and base. This is for, again, looking up smart, dressing smart. You can wear this to the office. You can even rock this to the gym. This is not a problem. This would be great in a white t-shirt, and for cooler days, it's a pick-me-up. This is fresh shaven, shirt, blazer, trousers, shoes, and you're rocking this. It's going to go hand in hand. But anyway, that is Mr. Colonia from the House of Gardenia Benesseri. If you go on Perfume Dreams, this is not a sponsored review. If you go on Perfume Dreams, this is about £85 on their website for 100ml. Now, every now and again, they do 20% discounts. So then you can pick it up for about £68 or something like that. It is more than worth the money. The perfumer behind this is Paolo Terenzi. He's got a brand called Vicanto, Tiziana Terenzi. They're his brands, I believe, and he's the nose behind them. And he's the nose behind them, and he is the nose behind this brand. So it's quality juice. Deserves to be on this list. You have to appreciate vetiver to appreciate this fragrance that I'm going to talk about now. It is Hemingway from the House of Masque, Milano. This is my second bottle of this fragrance. This is £100 for a 35ml bottle. The bottles look stunning. And this juice, this is strong stuff, especially in the opening. You do not need a lot of this, and you will get vetiver in every single way in this fragrance. Right, you got ginger essential oil, rhubarb, vetiver, Haiti vetiver, Java vetiver oil, cedarwood, patchouli, essential oils, and a leather record. How does this open up? Very spicy, zingy, vegetal. The rhubarb is throwing a little bit of sweetness in. Plus, I think it helps out on the spicy side, and that is what's bringing the vegetal quality into the fragrance. The ginger's adding the zing, plus a little bit of spice. With this, you're getting vetiver straight away. Smoky, it goes through different facets. 1 minute it's smoky, then it's earthy. It even comes across at times very slightly boozy. And I don't know if it's my nose, if I'm going mad, or if it's just the way that all the vetivers are sort of blending in together. It goes a little bit damp at times, a little bit soily, back to smoky, woodsy, earthy. It's a great fragrance. There's always a lingering little bit of sweetness into the mix, so to speak. And the leather record here, I think you do get a leathery quality from this fragrance, like sort of mid to dry down. But plus, I think it's blending in with them vetivers, and it's pushing that smoke through. This is a great fragrance. Some people would call this pungent. I love vetiver. I don't call this pungent. This is definitely strong. Like I say, you're going to get all the qualities from vetiver that you can possibly get in this fragrance. Again, very masculine. You can dress this up. I've dressed it down before. I mean, I'll wear fragrances whenever, to be honest with you. There's only a couple of fragrances that I do save for special occasions. Apart from that, I mean, I've worn this lounging around the house. If I enjoy the scent, I'm gonna wear it. But anyway, that is Hemingway from Masque Milano. Fellas, if you haven't tried this yet, go on Moda. They do 10ml decants of this juice. But I don't know, I can't remember how much the shipping is. But anyway, this is a great vetiver fragrance. And it deserves to be on this list. Had to put in one from Tom Ford. It is from the Signature collection, which used to be in the private collection. It is Beau de Jour from Tom Ford. This is masculine through and through. It's got an old school twist, but it's modernised. Like, this fragrance is timeless and it smells great. You've got to appreciate lavender, because this fragrance, it's lavender through and through. You've got two types of lavender. It says lavender, then Provençal lavender, geranium, mint, basil, oak moss, patchouli, amber. It's got that fougere barbershop style going for it. What do you get straight out the gate? You get smooth lavender. And again, it's there in the top, it's there in the mid, it's there in the base. So it's aromatic. The mint throws in loads of freshness. The geranium pushes in some nice freshness. Plus, you do get a little bit of lingering sweetness here. And to me, that's coming from the amber. Now, the patchouli comes in after about 5 to 10 minutes. It creeps in from the back. And it does add earthy, woodsy quality to the fragrance. You've got the oak moss, so the fragrance is a little bit mossy. This is herbal, fresh, spicy, aromatic, a little bit woodsy, a touch earthy. The amber does throw in a little bit of sweetness, but it doesn't go balsamic or resinous or anything like that. It just warms the base up a little bit and it throws in a little bit of sweetness. And this fragrance does have a creamy quality to it. So I don't know if that's the lavenders mixing in together. I don't know. But the mint definitely shines in this. The geranium pushes through. It's a great scent. And again, this is better for dressed up. Like, if you're going to a wedding again, if you're going to a party and you're smartly dressed, formal events, gatherings, family functions, and this thing pushes in the first 2 hours. So you're going to leave a nice scent trail. And then after 2 hours, you still got a nice scent bubble going on. Tom Fords are a little bit pricey, but for me, this fragrance is worth it. I believe you can pick it up for about £140 for a 100ml bottle. You only need a few sprays of this fragrance. You don't need to go yam on the trigger. You don't need 6 to 8 sprays. 4 sprays is enough. A couple around the neck, 1, 2, 3, and then maybe 1 on the wrist. Have a little dab and you are good to go. That is Beau de Jour from the house of Tom Ford. Quinton Biche has done a fantastic job with this fragrance. It is coming from the Artisan Parfumeur and it is Iris de Gris. Right, this has a pea pod accord in it. And you're thinking to yourself, that must smell awful. It doesn't. It works, and it works very well. There's not a lot of changes with this fragrance. It's not a complex fragrance, but that doesn't bother me. This thing hits. And this is green through and through. You've got galbanum, iris, pea accord, mint, blood orange, and ambroxan. So not a lot of notes. So how does it open? It opens with that pea accord and a strong green galbanum. Now, the pea accord here is a little vegetal. There is a little bit of a citrusy freshness up top, but the mint pushes in quite a lot of freshness as well. Plus, the mint here is like picking mint leaves off of a mint plant. It doesn't come across like spearmint, like toothpaste. It comes off like a mint leaf. That mixing in with the galbanum and the pea accord, so it's very, very green, vegetal, a little bit earthy. Now, the iris here does give this fragrance a powdery quality, The iris here is not lipsticky, it's not cosmetic bag, it's nothing like that. It's powdery, and as this settles, the fragrance does get a very slight creamy quality to the scent profile. Now the ambrox in here is pushing in a woodsy undertone, plus it adds in a little bit of sweetness, and that is the fragrance in a nutshell. I can't see a lot of women wanting to wear a green vegetal fragrance. Maybe some women out there do like green vegetal fragrances, but to me this is more of a masculine fragrance, and this thing hits. I enjoy green fragrances, and if you do enjoy green fragrances, you are gonna love Iris de Gris. It will not let you down. It has an airy nature to it. It's not a dense fragrance. You get good projection for the first, or it's moderate projection for the first hour and a half, and then it starts sitting closer to the skin, but it smells great. I love this fragrance. It definitely deserves to be on this list. This is a stunner. He's done great work. Hats off to Quinton Beach. Just take a look at this bottle and you'd think to yourself, maybe this is a feminine fragrance. It's from the house of Billie Eilish, and it is Eilish No. 2. So you would look at that and you would think, well, it's obviously a torso of a lady, so you'd think that this would be a feminine fragrance. It isn't. This thing slaps you in the nose with spice and smoke from the get-go, and you have to enjoy woodsy fragrances to enjoy this scent. Let me spray it. This is a 50ml bottle, and I think I picked this up for, is it 50ml? I believe it is 50ml, and I think I picked this up for about £35 in the UK. Now, straight off the bat, I'm going to tell you what this fragrance reminds me of. It reminds me of Ebony Fume from the house of Tom Ford in his private collection. If you enjoy that fragrance, that scent profile, you will smell this and straight away it will click that this does smell very similar to that fragrance, which is expensive. You've got Italian bergamot, apple blossom, papyrus, black pepper, poppy flower, palo santo, ebony wood and musk. This is not an overly complex fragrance. You get hit with loads of woods, loads of spice, loads of smoke up top. The papyrus here is giving off, or giving this a sharp edge, plus this is a dry fragrance. You get loads of black pepper. There is a touch of freshness to this fragrance. The Italian bergamot, it's there, but it's overshadowed by smoke, woods and spice. Now, this fragrance always has a musky side to it, and it's one of them ones. The longer it sits, the muskier it gets. And that is the fragrance. Woodsy, musky, spicy, smoky. There is a little bit of freshness to it, and there is a lingering light touch of sweetness in this fragrance. But I'm going to say it again. If you enjoy Ebony Fume from the house of Tom Ford, you will appreciate this fragrance. I think this is a great masculine, woody, spicy scent. It's definitely masculine, without a doubt. But anyway, that is Eilish No. 2. And like I say, for £35, that is a no-brainer. It is a steal. I'm finishing off the review with another designer. If you want something that's a grab and go, that you can make your signature scent, you can wear it in nearly any occasion. You can wear this to the gym, you can wear it to work, you can wear it going out. It is coming from the house of Ralph Lauren, and it is Ralph Club's Parfum. Yes, oh, let me turn it the right way. This is Ralph Club's Parfum. Right, this is an easy wear. It's a little bit generic, but if you don't want to overthink it, you can rock this fragrance and you can make it your signature scent. It is nice. It's very easy on the nose. It's mass appealing. You've got mandarin, apple accord, cardamom, lavender, which is lavender, clary sage, geranium absolute, vetiver, patchouli and cashmeran. So it opens up citrusy, fresh, aromatic. You get a nice green, juicy, crisp apple accord that does come in. First it's citrusy, then the apple mixes in with the citrus. You get some fresh spice from the cardamom. The geranium here comes across a little bit minty and sweet. There's always a lingering sweetness to this fragrance. But this is not a sweet fragrance, but this does have a little bit of sweetness to it. Dries down a little bit, it starts turning a little bit hazy, musky on my skin. Now, woods do come in. You get the vetiver, the patchouli, the cashmere, and warms the base up. And that all helps with the sweetness. That helps with the woodsy side of things. It's an easy wear. It's masculine. And to me, it's a very nice fragrance. And I put it on this list because it deserves to be on this list. I think this came out in 2022. I think. But anyway, that is Ralph Club's Parfum. The only problem with this fragrance is the longevity. You're going to get 5 to 6 hours out of it. So it's kind of moderate. It's not a beast mode fragrance. So if you're going to be out all day and all night, carry a decant with you and that will solve the problem. It's as simple as that. Right, anyway, fellas, ladies and gentlemen, whoever's watching this, I appreciate your time. To me, these are all masculine fragrances. They all smell very, very nice. They're of very good quality, especially some of them. I would love to hear your thoughts on these fragrances. Do you own any of these? What's your go-to masculine fragrance? Whether it's going to the gym, whether it's going to formal events, whether it's even going on a date night. Drop a comment down below. And remember, people, smelling good's always a pleasure and never a chore. And I'll definitely see you lot on the next one. Cheers.